a huge Super Sunday game, as we've alluded to. It is the fixture that separates our two guests, Arsenal against Liverpool. Only one thing to do, Joe, isn't there?
Yeah, absolutely. Very simply, we're going to be doing a combined 11 on the current squads. Now, we are basing this kind of on this season.
Yeah, OK.
So we really want to delve into how you think your players have done and where they fit positionally, because there are some injuries to key players, aren't there? So they might not well feature in the...
Yeah, and I think they've been, I would certainly say, more honest than some ones in the past. They've been very tribal.
Boovy, if you're watching, boys, no offense,
there have been some very tribal combined 11s. This one, there's some interesting choices here, so let's go position by position. And as always, it's not what Joe and I think, it will be decided based on the best argument brought forward. So goalkeepers, let's reveal to the camera who you've gone within sticks. Manny, Robbie?
Right, now, I don't think I quite got the memo completely, right? Because I've gone for Alisson, right?
Oof.
Because I think, overall, Alisson is the better keeper, right? However, if I was only going on this season alone, it'd be rare. Because
we are going on this season, so why haven't you gone?
So I didn't get the memo then, you know what I mean? Because if it's just this season, then I say rare. I think he's been absolutely brilliant. But if I'm, as I said, Alisson, if I'm saying, right, I had to pick a team tomorrow to play for me to win a must-win game...
But if you're saying on form and play tomorrow in a must-win game, surely you'd have the form goalkeeper, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I'll go rare.
So you got Alisson in your hand, Rob.
He's not sure.
Alisson, help us out.
I have gone with Alisson. I don't think you can argue with Alisson. For Liverpool, he's been unreal since he signed. This season, 6 games, we've conceded 3 goals. He's played 6 games. Obviously, he's injured right now, in and out of the squad. However, Alisson, I don't think can go wrong.
Well, but this season, Raya's been better than Alisson.
We're not conceding goals. Just because he's making double saves against Villa doesn't mean that he should be in the team.
Yeah, but he's not conceding any goals, but to be fair, we played harder games. We've had to go away to Man City, we've had to go away to Villa, you know, we've had to go away to Spurs, and we've had to play big games with 10 men. And we lost one of those games, yes, and I don't even think he had a good game, Raya, actually, against Bournemouth. But all the other games, remember that, with down to 10 men, your goalkeeper comes into even more prominence.
Robbie, what I would say is you're arguing for Raya, but you're...
I know.
Alisson's going up. Alisson's going up. Alisson's going up. And I'll pick him up just under the O, in the top, in the middle.
I'm sorry, man. You know what I mean?
Our producer in Origo, you did get offered a Raya magnet, which you've got printed, but you still wanted Alisson. So let's move on.
Listen, I'm not going to hate on Alisson because he's an unbelievable keeper.
Let's move on to right back because there is disagreement on right back. Let's have a look at who you've both chosen here.
Well, Ben White over Trent.
Ben White over Trent you've gone with.
Again, if it's this season, right, I've got to say on form. But, you know, we've been having this argument all week, right? I think... Now, this is a bit of a...
the magnet.
I think, right, it depends what you want from your right back. If you ask me who's the better player, it's Trent Alexander-Arnold. He's an unbelievable player. I'm worried about him tomorrow's game, right, because he's an unbelievable player. But if I want my right back to defend, right, I'm going Ben White.
Manny, your face is a picture here. Go on.
I hear it. Great. Ben White is unbelievable at defending. There's very few players that go up against him and have a very good game. However, what you get from this man, can you ignore it? Going forward, the output he gets for Liverpool over the years...
Not forward, though, is he? He's a right back.
Yeah, he's right.
So I'm saying, if you want... It's all about your team formation and that, right? A bit like England, isn't it?
But where does he play?
That's why I like in England, 1 minute of playing him in midfield.
But where does he play?
Speaking of England, though, he has been man of the match on many...
Where does he play? What are we doing here?
So recently for England, he's played midfield. The last game he played, left back. They was moving him around trying to get him in the team. The reason why, and listen...
Yeah, well said, man. Why are we talking about England?
It's a bit of a compliment to him, right, because he's such a good player. You're trying to get him in the team, but you really know that, you know, when it comes to defending, don't know, man, this guy, he's out of position, he makes a lot of mistakes,
Rob, all I'm going to say is the defensive unit he's been part of this season, a key component
We're not conceding goals.
Brother, you've not played City, You ain't played Arsenal yet. You haven't played Tottenham.
You haven't played Bournemouth.
You haven't played. Right? Yeah, that's one. That's one.
He is
game.
part of the best defensive unit. They've only conceded 3 goals in the decisive match. I think Trent edges Manny.
Trent is going out, Manny. Trent, Manny's winning there.
This thing about the best defence, right? Listen, they've conceded the least goals, right? But they have had a lot. You know, I mean, I'm not trying to hate on Liverpool. They've done brilliantly this season, but their games are a lot easier. And also,
That's
you don't have
subjective though.
You don't have to concede many goals.
Let's go to your centre back.
Let's conceded one against Forest.
Let's do your centre back as a pairing.
Yeah.
So let's see
if you've got the same pair, because I think a lot of people at home would have said 2 quite clear names here.
Yeah.
That's my centre back.
You both got Van Dijk.
Centre-back. Let's do them as a pair. You've gone Saliba and Van Dijk. You've gone Gabriel. Van Dijk.
See, I decided to change it up and be a bit different. They've both got clean sheets, Gabriel and Saliba. However, Gabriel scored 2 very important goals for you this season. And I think being able to defend and attack gives him the edge. Not saying I don't think he's a better overall player than Saliba, but if we're going on form, basically I will go Gabriel.
Gabriel's brilliant. And like you said, he scores goals. And he's not a one-off. He did the same thing last season as well. I've gone for this in balance, you know, because, you know, Van Dijk on the left, Saliba on the right-hand side. You know, and I think these 2 guys in combination, that'd be an awesome defence.
Do you think Saliba's the best centre-back in the world at the moment?
In the world?
Yeah.
No, I don't think he's the best
No, at
least you're
in the world. No,
that conversation has been happening, hasn't it?
Well,
I've seen Arsenal fans talking about that online.
I think it's too early to say that. You know what I mean? He's still got to do more. But I think, you know, he's getting there. He's you know, I wouldn't even necessarily say he's the best centre-back in the league. I'd probably say Van Dijk is the best centre-back in the Premier League, right? Yeah. But he's coming.
I think he's up and coming, and they'll measure that on the success that Arsenal get or don't
get. He's coming, you know what I mean? I think you know, I don't think he deserves that label as the best in the world yet, but he's brilliant. And we absolutely love him. We're going to miss him tomorrow.
Yeah. But some argue that Saliba and Gabriel are at the same level.
They're both brilliant. You know, Gabriel, like you said, is very underrated. I always hear a lot of people say he makes a lot of errors, and it's not true. He's a top centre-back.
I think Robbie's argument, though, about how they complement each other is a good one. The balance, let's stick them up. And I think you make a good point about, when you're talking about best player in the league at centre-back, Van Dijk, people forget the level Van Dijk is consistently at, so I'd agree with that.
OK, left-back's an interesting one, isn't it?
Yeah, good to debate this.
So
now, I've gone for Yuri and Timber. I remember the last time I came on it, I made the case for Yuri and Timber, and I was shot down by you 2, right? And then he went on to have a brilliant performance in that game against Tottenham, right? Unfortunately, he has the last couple of games been injured, but this guy, I said it on that show, right? He's unreal. And please, I hope he's playing tomorrow. We need him against Salah.
Well, how's Robertson been this season? Because there has been a bit of debate as well, hasn't there? Is it the kind of time to change the guard?
Obviously, for me, I was looking at it and I think he's got a good shout for Timber. Robertson normally Mr. Consistent, at least a 7 every game.
Normally.
I think this might be a bit of Liverpool bias in this one, but also I felt like I don't really know. Is he a left back?
Are you willing to concede on Timber then for this position?
I think I might. I'm going to base this off the Chelsea game. I think Robertson looked a bit off it. Before that, I would have maybe gone with.
So Manny's
Robertson.
happy to
go for Timber then. I think he has had a really, really good start to the season.
There we go. I've got you in your
there you go. Quite an even split so far. Let's go. I think there's one Arsenal player you both agree on here. So let's reveal the Arsenal player you both agree on in your midfield. Because we're going to do I think it's 4-3-3 you're playing, so we're just working out who's playing where.
Yeah, sure. The deeper line
here.
Rice?
You've both gone with. Yeah, you've both got Declan Rice in your team, haven't you? Even if you can't find the match, it doesn't matter because you've both got the same name.
You did have him, Manny, just to.
Yeah, I've got Declan Rice, and pretty similar to like what I said with Robertson, that consistency of knowing that you're going to get at least a 7 from Rice. Sometimes he doesn't go over the 7, but you're going to get that Mr. Consistent.
Most distance, interceptions, tackles for Arsenal in Premier League last season. Obviously, he just Is there a danger with Declan Rice because of how often he plays for England, for Arsenal? He's always present of sort of burnout or anything like that. Look at the number of games he's played over his career. He's such a top player, but
it's an issue. The same thing with we've got 2 of our main players that are injured at the moment. Got injured on international duty in Odegaard and Saka. And then Declan Rice is the other one. He seems to play every minute for England. You know what I mean? Never seems to get a rest. And then obviously he's playing every minute for us. So yeah, I mean, we are going to have to try and rest him at some stage. But he's apart from the red card. Yeah, he had to mention that, didn't he? I mean,
have we got another agreement? Liverpool midfielder. From Argentina, I think we both got Alexis McAllister.
Both got him.
How good's he been, Manny?
I think, for me, it was a shock because before we signed him, I thought he was going to be, like, technical, just spraying past and stuff. But the breaking up of the play, the duels that he wins as well, how involved he gets in that side of the game is important. And that's a big part of why we are conceding less and the balance to our side right now. I think Slot's getting it perfect.
I think he's so consistent, McAllister, as well. It feels like he never drops below like a 7 or an 8 out of 10.
I think that's a really good point that Manny makes as well about what Slot's doing in midfield is really good, because I think, like, the balance that you said, because a lot of people talk about how good you are defensively and obviously the goal scorers that you've got, but pre-season, everyone was talking about the concern for who'd play in Liverpool's 3, you needed to bring someone in. But actually, if you watch a lot of Liverpool's games, it's where they've been excellent. It has been in that midfield 3, and I think Slot's been a massive part of that.
And see if we've got some debate over the third name. Because there's a player for me that's missing that we haven't mentioned so far that's been maybe the outstanding midfielder in the Premier League so far this season.
I'm going to go with Ryan Gravenberch.
I've gone for Martin Odegaard, even though, you know, he's injured at the moment, but he's absolute quality. Gravenberch's more of a defensive midfielder, isn't he?
This is the thing. We're doing this on form right now this season.
Yeah.
If it's not Odegaard's in there by a landslide, he's unreal. However, this guy, question marks over him in and out of the team last season. This season, he's been our best midfielder, in my opinion. Like, when he collects the ball, the way he gets it ticking, how confident he is, he holds off players, able to pass forward as well, sometimes drive into the space. I've gone Gravenberch.
Did you see it coming?
Incredible.
Did you see it coming? Because I think a lot of people didn't see it coming, did they?
I think they did, though, because if you think about it, he's been linked with loads of clubs for years.
Yeah,
and
true.
Now we're seeing, the talk of the Gravenberch that everyone thought was going to be that player.
Is he like a DM?
Yeah, in a way, but
player.
because he can also be like a box-to-box, he can also carry the ball, like I said. He can also break up the plays quite strong, knows how to use his body. I think he's been incredible.
So you want Odegaard, so...
You count Odegaard, I mean, Odegaard, 3 appearances. I think Ryan Gravenberch, for me, has been like the most standout midfielder in the league so far.
Do we go with Gravenberch because of the injury?
I think so.
If not for the injury, it's going to be Odegaard.
If he was fit,
easy.
No doubt he would be in there.
OK.
But the injury...
And it is based on current form, as you alluded to.
I think he's
Robbie's not happy.
Honestly.
Right, do we go to right wing next, then? Because there's a big disagreement here on right wing.
Yeah.
So let's reveal who you've gone with on the right-hand side. Mo Salah, no surprise there. You've gone with Saka over Salah, Robbie.
So I'll give you my...
You've cheated,
reasons.
Robbie. Let's be honest.
No, I haven't cheated, right? And you know what? And this is why you notice I was kind of silent when you put Gravenberch in there, right? Because if we're going on how the formation should be, then Gravenberch is a defensive midfielder. That's where he's been doing all of his great work for. But you put him in. You got him in there, right?
I know I've got
So this is mine, right? That's why I didn't disagree, because I'm putting...
Don't just put it up. We've got to have debate. We've got to have a debate.
To me, you cannot have a combined 11 with Liverpool and Arsenal, and Saka is not in it. He's so good. He scores goals. He creates assists. He's such an important player, such a good player for team and country, right? So I've changed up the formation a bit up front.
You've got Salah left wing, haven't you?
No, I haven't got Salah left wing. I'm playing Salah down the middle. Right, and then I've got someone else on the left wing.
trying to cheat the game.
No, that's what you did there by getting Gravenberch in, because it should be Gravenberch or Rice.
Let Manny speak. Let Manny have his reply.
I've gone with Salah because we're top of the table right now. Think about it. 5 goals, 5 assists.
Easier games.
Yeah.
Easier games. It's subjective if the game's easy or not.
What's
Bournemouth, easier game.
Man City's not an easy game, is it? It's not easy to go away to Tottenham.
You didn't say that when it was 1-1. You thought you were going to win the game.
It's not easy to go away to Tottenham. It's not easy to go away to Man City. We was winning 2-1.
Would you say it's not easy to go away to Tottenham
Not easy to go away to Villa.
Good point.
Huh?
Not easy to go away to Villa.
It's not easy to go away to Villa. You've got all those coming up.
Go away to anywhere.
Well, I'd say it's harder to go to the Etihad than to go to, I don't know, some of the places you've been.
Do you think
had a lot easier games?
Do you think Salah, as Robbie's alluded to there, like slightly easier fixture list, but it feels like again is like taking his form back up to those goal scoring levels.
I feel like sometimes with Salah you might get his in and out, but the thing is, regardless, he'll still record the stats. He's still influential. And this season, what he's done is he's building on last season where he's playing more key passes. Rather than looking to go for goal, which he usually does, he's now looking to pass and he's creating more chances for us to score.
Yeah,
5 goals, 5 assists.
You could say the same for Saka. You know what I mean? With his goals and assists, it's been comparable, and also
He's top on assists.
He's worked. He's working defensively as well. It's brilliant. So important for how the team works. I just don't think you can have a team and he's not in it. I don't think you can have a team.
felt that way.
I don't think you can have a team and Salah's not in
Is
it.
Saka in your team, Manny? Not in yours?
No, he's not, because I didn't want to alter positions. Otherwise, I would have done.
No, but he's all right to do it in midfield. With a grab.
Who's your? Let's see your front three, so we can get a bit of context going. So we've
For
got
context of the two, by the way, as well. Saka 2 goals, 7 assists this season. Salah 5 goals, 5 assists.
Wow.
And he's played less games in the
He's
Premier
played
League.
1 less game than Salah.
So you've both got Diaz.
You've both got Diaz.
Has to.
So
Let's
Diaz
talk
can go
about
up.
Diaz, by the way. How good
Diaz
is
has
he?
got to go
5
up.
goals and assists. I think it's gone a bit under the radar how good Diaz has been. From a
Diaz
Liverpool fan,
is
he's been
part of a
brilliant, isn't he?
dying breed. Players that play with a bit of style, a bit of arrogance,
Yeah.
and are willing to try stuff, make players look silly. And now he's adding goals to his game
Yeah.
as well. So that's why I've gone with Diaz. Martinelli obviously is your other option, and
Yeah,
he looks like a player that obviously we all know he's a good player, but he's low on confidence, and you can see that when he celebrates his goals.
It's close because I think the last few games, Martinelli has been playing really well, the last few games. But I have to concede that Diaz this season's been excellent, you know what I mean? And I rate him as a player. I think he might have been affected last year by the whole thing, the kidnapping stuff and all that, you know what I mean? And he's definitely back, and that's nice to see.
Okay.
No, I don't want to see it tomorrow, but it's nice to see.
So you've both got Diaz.
Yeah.
So then there's you've gone
Havertz.
Saka and Salah, and you've gone Havertz.
I've
What
gone
an amazing
Havertz
season he's having.
because
Yeah.
I think I've never been the biggest fan of his style of play. However, I think he's really turning up for you guys.
He's been excellent.
Defensively, his work rate, and he's just a nuisance. Before I used to think, what does this guy do? But he's a nuisance, and now he's scoring goals. Sometimes he might miss the odd chance where you think, oh, he should score. But I think out of the striker options that we've got for form in this season, I would go with Havertz.
Yeah, for 4 goals and an assist in the Premier League this season in his 8 games.
How good's he been, Rob?
Not gone with him.
He's been brilliant. He's been absolutely brilliant. But the reason why I haven't gone with him is because I don't think you can leave Salah out of the team, right? So I've gone with Saka playing on the right-hand side. I put Salah down the middle. He's a great finisher, right? I think he could play as a striker because literally that is where he plays. He drifts into that position. So that way I'm getting these 2 brilliant players into the team. That's why I did it in that way.
Do we allow it, Smith? I think
You've got to have Salah on, obviously.
You've made a good argument there. I think we should allow it. I actually think we should potentially allow Salah to squeeze in for the
Because it's
middle.
2 Arsenal players either way. Robbie, the Arsenal fan, he wants
It's a bit
Saka
cheeky,
over Havertz.
but we'll allow it.
We'll allow
I think I'll be very fair
put
with my...
Salah and Saka in.
Sorry to Havertz, who I do think is having an amazing season.
I think you've been harsh because you just didn't want to get Saka out the team.
Also, shout out to Diogo Jota as well.
Yeah.
Who's like still looks really solid, doesn't
out for the game. So there is confirmation of the team. As you can see, there are 4 Arsenal players in the combined 11.
Let us managers
know
as
what
well.
you think
We've got a minute
of
left.
that.
We've got Arne Slot and Arteta. If you could only pick one, based on this season's work.
Arteta.
Oh, come on. If we're talking about this season, it's got to be Slot. He's top of the table.
He's had easier games.
Conceded 3 goals.
They're not going to agree on this.
He's had easier games.
If we're talking about... Obviously, he's still fresh and still new. The work Arteta's done over the last few years has been unbelievable. He's undone some of the stuff that was done before and been able to take you from that team. Oh, we're aspiring for 4th. You're now challenging for titles. But this season...
It's on this season,
It's Slot.
Arne Slot lost 1 game this season, so has Mikel Arteta, right?
Oh, my God.
Mikel Arteta's had harder games. Not only that, he's had to negotiate those games. Literally nearly half our games, 3 out of the 8, we played with 10 men, including having
Why,
to go...
though?
Including Man City with 10 men, right? It wasn't his fault.
You've got Havertz.
It wasn't his
checking
fault.
Rodri a minute into the game.
Hold on, that's
They're
not
not going to
his
agree on this.
fault.
I think Joe's
Right,
to
so
decide.
to
You've
me-
got the magnets,
to me-
you're the neutral. What are you going to do?
I mean, the games that you've won...
Come on, make a decision.
You've won it. Wouldn't you have expected...
It's Arne Slot this season. It's Arne Slot
Wait,
this
it's not
season.
an easy
Stick
game.
him on.
No, what do you
No,
think?
one second. I just need to
He's
make
made
this
a call.
point, yeah? The games that you've won this season, would you have expected to win all those games?
No. Wolves away, not an easy game.
Wolves
Palace
away.
not an easy game.
We've got to wrap this up. We've got to wrap it up.
Joe's made a decision. He's gone with Slot. Let us know what you think at
This
home, because
season.
they're not going to agree on that.
Overall
On the
Arteta.
season. Let us know what you think. There is confirmation of the team. Slot just takes it, but I think it was a good debate, that.